Hello everyone, welcome to ITLS Academy. This lecture is the continuation part of the virus lecture. In the last lecture, we have studied various properties of virus, their structure and pathogenicity. We have also studied the introduction of bacteriophage. In this lecture, that is viruses part 2, we are going to continue bacteriophage. We will start with the growth cycle of bacteriophage and continue till the study of viruses completely. So here is the growth cycle of bacteriophage. The first growth cycle is the lytic growth cycle. The replication of virulent phase was initially studied using the T even numbered, that is T2, T4 and T6 phases of E. coli. These phases adsorb by their long tail fibers onto specific receptors on the surface of the bacterial cell wall. The base plate of the tail sheath and its pins then lock the phase into position on the outside of the cell. At this stage, the tail sheath contracts towards the head while the base plate remains in contact with the cell wall, and as a result, the hollow tail core is exposed and driven through to the cytoplasmic membrane. Simultaneously, the DNA passes from the head through the hollow tail core and is deposited on the outer surface of the cytoplasmic membrane, from where it finds its own way into the cytoplasm. The phase protein coat remains on the outside of the cell and plays no further part in the replication cycle. Within the first few minutes after infection, transcription of a part of the viral genome produces early mRNA molecules, which are translated into a set of early proteins. These serve to switch off host cell macromolecular synthesis and degrade the host DNA and start to make components for viral DNA. Many of the early proteins duplicate enzymes already present in the host, concerned in the manufacture of nucleotides for cell DNA. However, the requirement for the production of 5-hydroxymethylcytosine containing nucleotide, which replace the normal cytosine derivatives in T-even phase DNA, means that some of the early enzymes are entirely new to the cell. Here, with the buildup of its components, the viral DNA replicates and also starts to produce a batch of late mRNA molecule transcribed from genes which specify the proteins of the phase code. These late messages are translated into the subunits of the capsid structure, which condense to form phase head, tails and tail fibers, and then together with viral DNA are assembled into complete infectious particles. Our next point is the enzyme digesting the cell wall. Lysozyme is also produced in the cell at this stage, and it eventually brings about the lysis of the cell. As other phase systems have been studied, it has become clear that the T-even model of virulent phase replication is atypical in a number of respects. The large T-even genomes, with their coding capacity for about 200 proteins, give these phases a relatively high degree of independence from their host. Although relying on the host energy and protein synthesizing system, they are capable of specifying a battery of their own enzyme. Most other phases have considerably smaller genome. Next cycle of growth is lysogeny. When a temperate phase is mixed with sensitive indicator bacteria and plated as described above, the reaction at each focus of infection is generally a combination of lytic and lysogenic responses. Some bacteria will be lysed and produced phase. Others will survive as lysogenic cells, and the plaque becomes visible as a partial area of clearing in the bacterial lawn. It is possible to pick off cells from the central areas of these plaques and demonstrate that they carry prophase. The phase lambda of E. coli is the temperate phase. Lambda phase is temperate phase that has been most extensively studied. When any particular strain of E. coli, we can say K12, is infected with A, the cells surviving the infections are designated E. coli K12 to indicate that they are carrying the beta prophase. The essential features of lysogenic cells and the phenomena of lysogeny are listed in the next slide. First of all, integration of the prophase into the bacterial chromosome ensures that on cell division, each daughter cell will acquire the set of viral genes. In a normally growing culture of lysogenic bacteria, the majority of bacteria manage to keep their prophases in a dormant state. Dormant state is a state of inactivity in which any spore or any bacteria which is showing this phenomena will remains in inactive phase until the favorable conditions occur, and on the On the occurrence of favorable conditions, they start to germinate or they start to propagate again. In a very small minority of cells, however, the prophase genes express themselves. This results in the multiplication of the virus, lysis of the cell, and liberation of infectious particles into the medium. Next point is exposure of lysogenic cultures to certain chemical and physical agents. Example: hydrogen peroxide, mitomycin C, and ultraviolet lights. These are chemical and physical agents results in mass lysis. Mass lysis is a phenomena occurring at a large scale. A huge number of cell lysis is occurring in this particular phenomena and the production of high titers of phase. This process is called as induction. Fourth point is when a lysogenic shell is infected by the same type of phase as it carries as prophase, the infection is aborted. If there is infection by the same type of phase as it carries as prophase, the infection will be aborted. The activity of the invading viral genes being repressed by the same mechanism that normally keeps the prophase in a dormant state. Fifth point is lysogeny is generally a very stable state, but occasionally a cell will lose its prophase and these cured cells are once more susceptible to infection by that particular phase type. After the lysogeny phase is over in a particular bacteria, that particular bacteria will once more susceptible to infection by that particular phase type. So we can say that lysogeny is an extremely common phenomena and it seems that most natural isolates of bacteria carry one or more prophases. Some strains of Staphylococcus aureus have been shown to carry out 4 or 5 different prophases. The induction of a lysogenic culture to produce infectious phases followed by lysogenization of a second strain of bacterial species by these phases results in the transmission of a prophase from the chromosome of one type of cell to that of another. On this migration, temperate bacteriophages can occasionally act as vectors for the transfer of bacterial genes between cells. The process of transfer of bacterial genes between cells is called as transduction. we can represent the process of transduction as, if this is a cell and this is another cell, then there is formation of a passes between these cells, and genetic material of one cell will transfer to the next cell. This process will be transduction, and this is the another type of growth cycle of bacteria. The major cycles are lytic and lysogenic phases, so we have discussed in detail, but the process of transduction is not as much important as the lytic and lysogenic cycles of bacteria, so we are discussing it in the brief. I am telling you the process, the type of the how the process occurs, but this process is in brief, and we have discussed lytic and lysogenic cycles in detail. The process of transduction can be responsible for the transfer of such genetic factors as those that determine resistance to antibiotics. Most of the time, resistance to antibiotics can be because of the process of transduction. Here is the diagrammatic view of the lytic cycle. We will see lytic and lysogenic cycles one by one. So let's start with lytic cycle. First of all, step 1 is attachment. This is bacterial cell and these are bacteriophages. Bacteriophages come to the cell wall of bacteria. The tail fibers of bacteriophages help in the attachment of phage to the bacterial cell. With the help of the tail fibers, the phage attached to the bacterial cell. Our next point is penetration. Here, the blue color representation is the bacterial DNA. So, after the penetration, these tail fibers, after attachment, can free the tail that part that is responsible for the transfer of genetic material. So, after penetration, genetic material comes into bacterial cell. You can see the red color genetic material of phage coming out of the phage, and here it came into the bacterial cell. Third step would be transcription. The genetic material has inserted into the bacterial cell, but now the genetic material will start to replicate itself. After the replication, after making many replica copies of its genome, it can do their work of pathogenicity. If there will be less amount of genetic material, they will not be able to cause pathogenicity in that bacteria. So, by the process of transduction, they start to produce their RNA from the DNA. This genetic material would replicate after the transcription become the RNA. Here you can see that DNA is converted into the RNA by the process of transcription. This is the phage induced proteins. After transcription, there would be process of translation. After the process of translation, the generation of phase-induced proteins occurs. The step 4 is a replication of phase DNA and synthesis of proteins. A replication of phase DNA occurs in the fourth step, and for the packing of this genetic material into particular coat, there is formation of protein also. This protein provides the coat for the genetic material of the phase. Fourth step is assembly. Assembly is the process of getting together all of the genetic materials or all things that are present in that particular medium. So, in the case of assembly, genetic material would be there and protein would form a coat around that genetic materials, and there would be formation of tail fibers also. The fully processed phase will form in the process of assembly. You can see the formation of phase particles in this particular step. After assembly, this is necessary to release these phase particles to cause pathogenicity. So, after the cell lysis, as the name of phase indicate, that is lytic, here the lysis of cell occurs. After cell burst, the release of phase particles in the environment occurs, and after release there is new cycle starts, and these phases multiply themselves and form a mass of the phases. Next cycle is our lysogeny. As we know that in the case of lytic cycle, there is lysis of cell of bacteria, but in the case of lysogeny, there is no any lysis of cell of the bacteria. So let's start with the lysogeny. The first step is phase attaches to the cell surface of the bacterium. The process of attachment will be same as we discussed in the lytic cycle. Step 2, phase DNA enters the bacterial cell. This also will be same as we learned in the lytic cycle. The process of insertion is same in the both cases. After that, third point, phase DNA integrates into the bacterial DNA. This is the major difference point in the lytic and lysogenic cycle. Here, bacteria does not multiply its DNA, it integrates into the bacterial cell. Genome, if it is genome of bacteria and this is the genome of bacteriophage, then the phase of the genome of bacteriophage will integrate into the bacterial DNA. After that, integrated prophase replicates when bacterial DNA replicates. It starts replicating with the bacterial DNA. These cells may exhibit new properties. Here, no any kind of burst of cell occurs. Phase DNA integrates with bacterial DNA and start replicating, and it makes many copies of themselves. Here is the combined view of lytic and lysogenic cycle. You can see first is lytic and the second is lysogenic cycle. At point first phase attaches to host cell and injects DNA. This is the bacterial chromosome. Phase DNA circularizes and enters lytic or lysogenic cycle. At this point, it can decide whether it want to go into lytic cycle or whether it want to go into the lysogenic cycle. If it decides to go in the lytic cycle, then new phase DNA and proteins are synthesized and assembled into virions. Cell lies releasing phase virions, and here the lytic cycle completes. And if the phase DNA goes into lysogenic cycle, then phase DNA integrates with the bacterial chromosome by recombination, becoming a prophase. Lysogenic bacterium reproduce normally and divide and form many cells. And here, occasionally the prophase may excise from the bacterial chromosome by another recombination event initiating a lytic cycle. At this point, it can also go into lytic cycle. So the cycles are combined. We study separate just to learn how the processes occurring. But these processes are linked and can the decision can be taken at any of the step at this particular step. Here comes the epidemiological uses. Different strains of a number of bacterial species can be distinguished by their sensitivity to a collection of phases. Bacteria which can be typed in this way include Staphylococcus aureus and Salmonella typhi. The particular strain of, say, Staphylococcus aureus responsible for an outbreak of infection is characterized by the pattern of its sensitivity to a standard set of phases, and then possible sources of infection are examined for the presence of that same phase type of Staphylococcus aureus. More recently, the fact that many of the chemical agents which cause the induction of prophase are carcinogenic has led to the use of lysogenic bacteria in screening tests for detecting potential carcinogens. So guys, thank you very much for watching this session. This was continuation part of bacteriophage. In this lecture, we have studied growth cycles of bacteria only. There is a lot of part of viruses still is uncovered. So, we will cover our remaining parts in our next upcoming lecture. Probably the topic of the that particular session will be human viruses. We have studied general structures and properties of the viruses, and also we have studied bacteriophage, but there are a lot of viruses that affects humans, as in the present scenario the coronavirus. So, in the next lecture, we will learn human viruses, their structures, names, and their process of pathogenicity. So, thank you very much for watching this session. You can subscribe ITLS Academy on YouTube and you can also get it on Google Play Store. Thank you very much.